Hey guys, it's Trina and today I am doing a book haul. I haven't done a book haul in a long time, and a big part of that is because this year I pretty much have only listened to audiobooks, and I only get like one or two in at a time typically, so it's hard for me to be able to have a bunch of books at one time for me to be able to do a video. But I just got several audiobooks in, so I thought now's a great time. I've got several to show you from my library, so I can tell you what I've checked out from my library, as well as a few books that I've actually been gifted or purchased myself. So I'm going to start with the ones that I own. I have Water Runs Red by Jenna Claire. I know Jenna, she's one of my friends. We live near each other, we're in a book club together, and she recently self-published her collection of poetry. This has been out for a while and I feel really terrible for not having finished it yet because she is a friend, but what I've read so far is good. There's one poem particularly that really spoke to me about friendships. I also have Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. This was gifted to me by Amy from Amy Reads. We were trying to decide a book to buddy read, and this one was one that kept coming up, and I said I've heard of it, but my library didn't have a copy of it, so she actually just sent me a copy, which was so nice. I actually don't really know what this one is about. I just knew that I wanted to read it because Chelsea Darling loves it. And I've gotten There's Something About Sweetie by Cindy Minen. This is her third book. I love her contemporary romances. They are YA. I know that Sweetie has Fat Rap. I'm really excited to read this and see what I think about it. I have two print library books checked out right now, and the first is Last Scene by Sarah Shepard. This is the third book in her Amateurs trilogy, which is a YA mystery, and I really enjoyed the first book in the series, and then I had a lot of trouble getting my hands on the third book, and I don't think that there is an audiobook available, so I just finally got to the point where I was I really want to just finish the series. Maybe I'll get the print book and see if seeing it all the time on my bedside table will make me actually pick it up. So this is a series I'm hoping I can finish up soon. And I've got The Orphan Queen by Jodi Meadows. I am buddy reading this one with Jade and Caitlin, and this is just a backlist book that we've all had on our radar for a long time, and obviously this is a YA fantasy about a queen who's been displaced, and I think she's going to, reconquer and reclaim her throne. I also have 7 audiobooks currently checked out from my library, so I will quickly just go through these and show you guys the pictures up here and tell you why I'm interested in them. So first is The Devouring Grey by Christine Lynn Herman, and I actually have a copy of this book. The publisher sent it to me, but I actually listened to the audiobook, and I buddy read this one with Heather from Bookables and Amy from Amy Reads, and we really enjoyed it. I think that the beginning was kind of slow to pick up because you're just thrown right into things, but then in the end everything was revealed and there was so much payoff, and I understood everything just about, and I just really liked it, and it sets up for sequels. I'm not sure how many books are going to be in this series. It's about 4 different kids who are all relatives to the 4 founders of this small town, and there's a monster that's trying to devour the town essentially, and only the 4 founding families can fight it, and they each have a specific type of power or ability, and these 4 current generation of kids, some of them are at odds with each other, and they're trying to figure out how to work together, and what's really the mystery behind this monster and why the town was founded. It's great. I liked it. I also have Queen of Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare. I'm currently listening to this one, so I am between chapters of it. It's been a while since I've been able to get in my little channel name nod there, but yeah, I am between chapters of Queen of Air and Darkness, and I'm really liking it so far. It is extremely politically charged. I'm halfway through this book, and I think I am liking it more than Lady Midnight or Lord of Shadows. I think maybe there are some mixed opinions of this book out there, but to me, I think maybe because it is the third book, at this point I know how everything is connected. I'm invested in all the different characters, plus there is a ton of romantic tension between multiple characters in this book. I feel like I'm gonna get payoff, so I think I'm more invested in this one than the previous 2, but I'm really enjoying it. I also have Nexus checked out by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings. This is the sequel to Zenith, and I was one of the people who I felt very middle of the road about Zenith. It wasn't as terrible as I had been led to believe, and it's not great either, but I think that they had some pretty decent like world building and twist near the end where I saw like what they were actually trying to do, and that made me really eager to see what was happening in the next book. So I am really curious in this one, definitely wanted to check it out. I also have My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing checked out, and I don't know too much about this one. It's an adult thriller or adult mystery, and I think this is the one that's about a husband and wife that like to murder people together. I think I just picked this up because I heard someone review it and say that they really liked it, and I've been enjoying adult thrillers lately, so I decided to try it. I also have Royals by Rachel Hawkins checked out, and I think this one was retitled to Prince Charming or something. I don't really understand the Goodreads listing, but either way, the series is called Royals, and this is the cover that I'm familiar with, or think how it was originally covered and titled, and I believe this is about an American girl who met a prince and they are engaged to be married, but the book is actually following the girl's younger sister watching her sister marry off to a prince. Now, if you notice that I don't know too much about a lot of these books, it's because recently I just haven't really been needing to read book summaries and synopses. I just haven't needed that. I tend to go into books more often now just on like a recommendation, like, oh, if somebody else liked that and I kind of just know the genre or I'm familiar with the author, that's good enough for me to pick it up. So it's not that I try to avoid summaries or anything. I don't hate summaries, but a lot of these books I've picked up without knowing them, so it's difficult for me to tell you much about them. But the reason that I'm picking up Royals right now is because I did a Pick My TBR on Twitter, and one of the numbers that was chosen happened to be for Royals, and I wanted to get a start on it, so that is why I picked that up. I also have The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren checked out, and as far as I know, this is a hate to love adult romance. I have enjoyed the romances by Christina Lauren that I've read before, and I just think that, you know, their books are definitely like trope heavy. They always write about a specific trope, like a romantic trope, but I like the way that they do them, and that's all I know about it. I literally don't know the premise of it. I've heard good reviews so far. I know that I like their writing. I know that I like their chemistry, the way that they can portray that and their characters, so I am looking forward to this one. And the last book that I currently have checked out from my library is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This is a new adult romance. It's a male-male relationship, and I think one of them is a prince. Is one of them the son of like the American president, and then one of them is like a UK prince? This just shows you how bad I am at knowing what books are about. I just know that I want to read this one because everyone's been gushing about it, and I'll have Goodreads links to all these books I talk about in the description in case you want to know what on earth I'm actually talking about. I picked this book up on my own just wanting to read it because I've heard so much about it with early reviews, but this is also going to be my book club pick for the month of June. I do have an in real life book club now, which I'm really excited about. We've already had our first meeting and it went really great, so this is our pick for June. We're going to be reading it and discussing it, so that is another incentive for me to get to this book soon. So those are all of the books or audiobooks that I have or have currently checked out from my library. I hope to be getting to all of these soon, or most of them, if not all. If you've read any of them, let me know your thoughts on it down below, and let me know if you've checked out anything from your library recently. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the comments.